If you've been around my channel, you would know that I've talked my fair share about plastic surgery. I will outright say that I don't like plastic surgery, I don't think it's good for people, and I've never shied away from the fact that I think most people look better before they get these cosmetic enhancements. But I will at least try to convey this respectfully, where I'm not outright attacking another person. And I do think that as public figures, especially ones that make money on their appearances, these celebrities are subject to the public's opinion on these appearances. However, the treatment of Millie Bobby Brown is honestly ridiculous. Even if you're not chronically online, you might have noticed that Millie Bobby Brown looks a little different lately, and she's oftentimes used as an example in the argument that Gen Z is aging badly. Now, there's definitely room for this argument, and it does make sense to use Millie Bobby Brown as an example. However, a lot of people are not just using her as an example, they are straight up making fun of her. They're saying that she looks like she's 40, that she looks like she's her younger sister's mother, that she looks too old to be playing a teenager, and they're saying that she looks like this because she's overusing Botox and fillers. It's good to acknowledge when celebrities have gotten work done, but the narrative in the media is less acknowledgement and more praise or criticism. But people are using anti-plastic surgery and this new Gen Z aging phenomenon to bully her in a way that seems untouchable. And really, it's just this new way to criticize women without these people having to feel like they're the bad guy. Like, I try to target my beauty standard content towards everyday people that feel the pressure to look perfect and help them understand that what they're seeing is not real. But a lot of these articles are not uplifting the everyday person. They are instead a way for insecure people to pull Millie Bobby Brown down. Now, when I say insecure people, I don't necessarily mean people with insecurities, because we all have them, and all of us at times just want celebrities to appear human. I'm talking about the people that are so insecure that when they see anybody doing better than them, they see it as a threat, and in turn, they feel the need to check them. Targeting people like this in these articles is nothing new. Magazines for decades have been taking the worst pictures of celebrities and saying that they're ugly, and Britney Spears was a huge victim of this. Now, this was back in the early 2000s, so Britney was massively talented, massively beloved, incredibly beautiful, and everybody either wanted to be her or be with her. So insecure people saw this, knew they couldn't criticize her on these things, so they turned to Old Faithful, which at the time was calling people fat. And as I said, this was the early 2000s. If you were a woman in the public eye and your diet didn't consist of cocaine and cigarettes, you were fat. And even though most of the people attacking her probably weighed more and objectively weren't as good looking, most people fit into this category, they could still use the argument, well, if I had that kind of money, I wouldn't look like that, or, oh, she shouldn't wear that since she gained weight, etc. It was a time when criticizing someone's weight was not only expected, it was almost encouraged, seen as a warning to other women. Oh my god, you've seen how terrible Britney looks, like you don't want to look like that, that's why you need liposuction or this Pilates class or Weight Watchers or whatever it is they're trying to sell you. And like Britney Spears, Millie Bobby Brown elicits a lot of jealousy from others. Millie is a successful actress, she has a successful brand, she's unproblematic, she's married to a great guy, she's living out her dream on her little farmstead, and she's doing all of it while only being 21 years old. And people hate that. I'll be completely honest, I am totally jealous of Millie Bobby Brown. I would love to have millions of dollars and be making movies and hanging out with my donkeys or whatever the hell she has. But as a fairly secure person, I can want these things without being angry that somebody else has them. Insecure people can't do that. It's very crabs in a bucket. When they see somebody being successful, they have to point out negative things to make them feel better about themselves. But it's no longer 2005. You can't just say somebody's fat and call it a day. But you can criticize them on aging badly and plastic surgery, and that is exactly what's happening to Millie Bobby Brown. Especially because of the whole Gen Z's aging worse than millennials thing, a lot of people in their 30s and above feel very comfortable criticizing young people when they really don't even know what's going on. And like I've said before, we definitely need to talk about plastic surgery and these crazy anti-aging measures, but a lot of these articles aren't talking about that. They're just straight up calling people ugly. And a lot of you are probably sitting here watching this video saying, you know, Dakota, I'm not insecure and I do like Millie Bobby Brown, and even I've noticed that she looks older. And here's where I'm going to bring up how I said that public figures are going to be subject to the people's opinion on their appearance. And I also will acknowledge that realistically, my opinion does not matter, but it might give you guys a possible explanation as to why she looks this way. Now, I definitely don't think that she looks 40, but if I didn't know her, I would probably guess that Millie Bobby Brown was at least 25 based on recent red carpet appearances. Now, I cannot confirm or deny whether she's gotten injectables, but I think that the reason why she looks older is because her styling is done badly. It really looks like she's going for a kind of Pamela Anderson, very mature type of look, and it doesn't really match her features. Millie's features are very soft, and I think that she's an autumn, but don't quote me on that, but that doesn't really match up with the boldness of the Pamela Anderson look. The colors that she's wearing in the specific blonde that she has, especially when it's in an updo, make her appear unharmonious and not ugly, just less like herself. Even the black hair is just too much for her. It's taking away from her features. And the makeup isn't helping to counteract this because it's either too bold, like I said, or she's so bronzed up that it's taking definition away from her face. Like, look at these pictures from the premiere of Damsel. She looks gorgeous. All the styling came together to really uplift her beauty instead of covering it up to try to make her look like somebody else. Here's some pictures off of her Instagram, some of which she doesn't have makeup on, but again, she just looks so much more like herself. I don't think that she's had syringe after syringe of injectables. I think that her styling is covering up what she actually looks like, and that's what's giving her that undefined and unnatural appearance, not the overuse of fillers. But if I read an article and the title is Millie Bobby Brown's Styling Mistakes Cover Up Her Natural Beauty, the target audience of this article is going to be people interested in styling. But if I write an article and title it Millie Bobby Brown Looks Aged and Unrecognizable, not only am I targeting these insecure people, but I'm targeting everyone else because they're all going to be curious about it as well. And like Britney Spears being called fat, it's going to attract a lot of women because it's a very daunting headline, and they don't want people saying the same things about them that they're saying about Millie Bobby Brown. And you don't always have to wear your best colors, and you can experiment with makeup. But I just wish that people would acknowledge how much of an impact these things can have instead of immediately jumping on the, oh, so-and-so's ugly and has too much filler. Like, this shirt is not my color. It makes my eyes look dull, it brings out my acne scars, but it keeps me warm, and it was given to me by my grandmother, and I like it. So I'm still gonna wear it. Also, I have to mention this because this is another thing that's giving people that unnatural appearance, and it's not just Millie, it's happening to a fair few other women as well. If your face does not do it naturally, don't do it on the red carpet. I'm so tired of these girls with pretty faces and beautiful smiles going onto red carpets and going like this. Stop that. This is literally an epidemic. They just look so unnatural and uncomfortable. Just embrace your face. That's what's gonna make you look the best. And that goes for everybody, not just celebrities. But that's it for today, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, have a great rest of your day.